It's been left at base camp in Doha. So Junior Hoylett gets a start on the left-hand side of the midfield. And Japan, it's not exactly a second string, but more so than Canada today. We know that there was a lot of controversy generated over the coach Moriyasu's selections, moreover who wasn't selected for the World Cup party to launch the World Cup challenge this year. Has he made the right call? Only time will tell. We're going to pause now for the national anthems.
The true north, strong and free, from far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard.
Well, Japan have left one or two players. They're back in Doha. Morita, Endo, Mitoma and Tomiyasu are the players that have stayed home. So in all areas of the pitch, he's trying out different combinations here. Hajime Moriyasu, the coach who took over after Akira Nishino and Russia 2018. So here is how they will line up. Asano is leading the line. No Yuya Osako, left out of the squad. So Ueda, Maeda and Asano are all auditioning for the striker's role. They generally play sort of 4-2-3-1 Japan, and plenty of reinforcements on the bench. Shuichi Gonda starts in goal, and they're going to have a back four of Itakura and Taniguchi in the middle. It'll be Tomiyasu and Yoshida when we get to the World Cup, and Ito at left back. Nagatomo surely will come in if fit for the opening World Cup match. Hiroki Sakai on the right. From the United Arab Emirates, Omar Alali is today's referee, leading our team of Emirati officials. And Minamino Kubo Yuki Soma will be the attacking three in support of Takuma Asano today. Well, as far as the Canadians are concerned, there's no Alphonso Davis, which gives a chance for Junior Hoylett. I mean, Atiba Hutchinson there could become the second oldest player in World Cup finals history if he gets minutes on the pitch over the next few weeks in Qatar. Here's how they line up. Borjan starts in goal. It's a back four. That looks like their starting back four. Adekugbe, Miller, Vittoria and Johnson, Piet and Hutchinson starting at the base of the midfield. Estacio will come in for that first match surely in there. Hoylett and Buchanan, the wide players, and Jonathan David and Kyle Larin, the first choice starting duo. Had a terrific qualifying campaign and Canada blew the competition out of the water. So he was assistant in Russia 4 years ago. Took after Nishino was relieved of his duties. They were heartbreakingly close to the quarter-finals in Russia, Japan. 2-0 up in their last 16 match, only to lose to a last-minute winner to Belgium. And John Herdman, the wily Geordie, 47 years of age, the Englishman, has his own place in footballing history. He's the first manager to qualify the men's and women's teams from the same nation to the World Cup finals after all his heroics with the Canada women. So we're underway in Dubai 6 days before Japan and Canada begin their World Cup 2022 group stage campaigns. Japan against Germany, Canada versus Belgium. It's a last warm-up fixture here for the Canucks and the Blue Samurai. Canada in familiar red. Everyone has a chance for minutes on the pitch. It's a hot evening. We're about 400 kilometres due east of Doha, here in Dubai at the Al Maktoum Stadium, home of Al Nasser. And Hiroki Sakai with that throw, wearing 19, so he'll be the right-sided defender with Taniguchi and Itakura in the middle. That's Milan Borjan. Will star in goal surely next week for the Canadians. Tajon Buchanan, first chance to maybe chip away down the right-hand side. Buchanan starts on the right of the Canadian midfield. Hoylett on the opposite flank, likely to drop out for Alphonso Davies if the Bayern Munich superstar is fit next week, with Hutchinson and Piet holding the fort in that Canadian midfield. That was a little bit loose. Piet just recycles it. Sam Adekugbe from Hatayspor in Turkey. 20 years of Jonathan David. He and Kyle Larin were responsible for 22 goals between them in World Cup qualifying. Larin, by the way, wearing 17 up front here for the Canadians. Top scorer in CONCACAF qualifying, full stop, with 13 goals. Already Canada's all-time leading scorer. And the hunt is on for Canada's first ever World Cup finals goal. And one and only appearance at the finals in Mexico, 86. 3 matches in the group, 3 defeats. And drew a blank in every match. Defending to do for the Canadians in the early stages here. That's Al Tanaka. Ball clipped across by Hiroki Sakai. Shibasaki, wearing 7, experienced. He's tended to go with sort of tried and trusted Moriyasu in terms of his squad selection here. Shibasaki, so getting the call up ahead of Reo Hatate. Plenty of gasps when the squad came out. No Hatate, no Furuhashi. The Celtic stars. No place for them in this squad though, and Yuya Osako as well led the line for them in qualifying. Paid the price for poor form and fitness. That's a nice combination play. A useful challenge as well from Adekugbe. Soma. The first foray here down the right-hand side. Playing on the right, Yuki Soma, of the 3 supporting Takuma Asano. I mean, they've got an abundance of tricky, skillful players. Ball into feet. It's very much the Japan way. Plenty of pass and move. By the way, Canada destroyed the competition in the final round CONCACAF World Cup qualifying group. They had a reputation for playing similar, really. David and Larin on the end of most of the good stuff that they've produced further up the pitch. Sakai getting well forward. Here's Ko Itakura. Benefited for his place in the squad from Yuta Nakayama's exclusion, the Huddersfield player. That's Alistair Johnson. The right-sided player can play on the right of a 3 or 4. And John Herdman used a variety of formations to get the job done in each of the qualifying matches. It was a gruelling campaign. 20 matches all in for the Canadians. Got one heck of a progression. And a team that not only hadn't qualified for a World Cup finals, but failed to reach even the final round of CONCACAF qualifying for 4 tournaments straight, to actually getting into a final group and then winning it. Pretty staggering, really. And heck of a testament to the coach's abilities. Vitoria is in the middle of that back 4 tonight alongside Kamal Miller. But it can often be the way the best laid plans go astray when players get injured just on the eve of major finals. That's happened on 3 separate occasions for Canadians that would have expected to be part of Herdman's party. The goalkeeper Crepeau would have been one of the backups to Milan Borjan. Broke his leg last week playing for LAFC, thus ruling him out. Donnell Henry as well got injured in the warm-up for the Bahrain match that was the first fixture in the sort of run-in in this part of the world for Canada. That was last Friday. Scott Kennedy as well, another defender who would have been a starter, a big part of the squad. Injured playing second-tier football in Germany. That's Itakura. Just hunted down there by Kyle Larin. Larin, fabulous in qualifying, plays in Bruges these days. Here's Soma. Hiroki Sakai. There's Shibasaki. Itakura. Going to come back to Shuichi Gonde. Quick release as well, up to Asano. Couldn't bring the ball under his spell. Good distribution that though from Shuichi Gonde. He'll be the #1 for Japan despite his club having a real poor time of things. And that's it. The ball clipped up over the top. There might have been contact from Yuki Soma on the way through, but Borjan let that slip through. And it's a 1-0 Japan inside the first 9 minutes here in Dubai. Clipped up and over the top. I mean, Borjan comes out to try and snuff out the threat. Just didn't read the slight altering of the trajectory on this. It's a nice ball clipped up over the top. Just gets enough on it there, Yuki Soma. Well, this is the angle that will tell us how much on it. It's a clever finish. Had most of the ball here, the opening stages, the Japanese. And that's a tidy little finish from the Nagoya Grampus 8 player. I just wonder if Borjan could have been a little bit more positive there, though, in the Canadian goal. But it's 1-0. Buchanan. It's dealt with by Hiroki Ito. Adekugbe. Miller. Nowhere to go. I mean, they're missing their most creative player in Eustachio tonight in the middle of the park, Canada. It's a chance for someone. Buchanan, if he's able to get motoring, wide right, that's an attacking outlet for them. Clubmate with Kyle Larins at Club Brugge in Belgium this season. Tajon Buchanan. So corner here. Right swinger. And it's over the top from Vittoria. The reasonably free header there for Stephen Vittoria. It's a good delivery. Perhaps a bit disappointed with himself. Can't get over that sufficiently. Vittoria, the centre half for Canada. Cannon's touch just lets him down. Sano. Minamino was the only player further ahead there of Takuma Asano. Itakura. Saka. Effective pressing from Japan, forced all the way back. Canada here to the goalkeeper Borjan. And again. Loose, that gives it to Sommer. Hutchinson made that intervention. It's looking a little bit leggy in the middle there for Canada. So Larin picks up. Yeah, he's offside. Took a while. Japan leading Canada here in this pre-2022 World Cup finals friendly match just across the water, across the Gulf in Dubai. Japan started their final round of qualifying in the Asian zone in real difficulty. They lost 2 of their first 3 matches, but they won 6 in a row. Eventually finished second to Saudi Arabia. Put Australia into the intercontinental playoff, which the Aussies won. Zano tries to get in. Plays it against Adekugbe. They do have the pace, don't they, and the energy going forward. It's a really good press, and the contact there from Sommer, just giving Asano a chance to run at the defence. Get the call on that occasion in the corner, but there's plenty of good, solid running and shutting down the Canadian defensive players from that front four: Minamino, Kubo, Sommer and Asano for Japan. That's just a little clumsy by Ao Tanaka, the Fortuna Dusseldorf player. Gives it to Jonathan David. There's Tajon Buchanan. Japan getting all those bodies back, suffocating the man in possession. Canada have to recycle all the way through Miller there for Adekugbe.
Good teams!
That's useful. David in behind. Little nudge back for Buchanan. First time's that there against Taniguchi. It's going to be a corner ball here for Canada. Yeah, well capable of doing what Japan are pretty adept at and playing those little combination moves. Sort of in and around the penalty area. They're looking for the overlapping players to zigzag their way through. They've already threatened from that side with a Vittoria header from an earlier corner that didn't trouble Shuichi Gondo, went too high on that occasion. What can Hoylett do here? He sends it deep again. It's nodded down once more dangerously, and it was Vittoria in there again. But the first opportunity was Kyle Larins. He just nudges it down, invite somebody to throw themselves at it, and that follow-up slice there catches Vittoria and heads it wide. Yellow card for Johnson. So quickly, it was a quick distribution again from Shuichi Gondo, under instructions to get the ball up the pitch as speedily as possible. Japan leading with that early Yuki Sommer goal. It's a late challenge. At that time, we will no doubt have clocked it. Here comes Japan. Two in the box here, and instead the shot came in early from Takefusa Kubo. He could have dragged it across. He had Sommer up there. He had Asano square. He's dragged it. Real Sociedad midfield player. Small and skillful. Still 1-0 here. Pierre. Tanaka breathing down his neck again. Vitoria launches it long. That's nicely aimed back to the goalkeeper, just ending the threat of Junior Hoylett. Down the left here for Canada.
Where is it? Come on, teams!
Buchanan. Johnston. Buchanan on the overlap. He's clipped through to him. And just the flick against the retreating Kubo. More possession in dangerous areas as well for the Canadians. That's another corner, thanks to the hard work of Tajan Buchanan. Down the right-hand side. Hoylett sends it right into the middle, and finally, after a couple of near misses from Junior Hoylett corners, Stephen Vitoria gets on the end of one. 1-1. They've been threatening that, in truth, Canada, down the right-hand side with the hard-working Tajan Buchanan. Japan paying the price for not dealing effectively with the delivery of Junior Hoylett. It's helped on initially by Atiba Hutchinson. He just kind of nudges it, doesn't he, into a more dangerous zone. And then Vitoria is there to extend a leg and turn the ball past Gomdet. 1-1. It's Stephen Vitoria for Canada. Fourth international goal. And he ended just before the break in a scoring form. Scored a last-minute penalty for his club in Portugal with Stephen Vitoria. Desportivo Chavez. Rather like Yuki Sommer as well, who was on target in the last day of J1 action for Nagoya Grand Prix. So, scoring form continued for our two scorers here in Dubai tonight. 1-1. So it could be with the layoff. There's Piet. Outmanoeuvred in midfield. Shipped on by Shibasaki. Kubo. Buchanan. Kubo. Working back to Minamino. Game has largely passed the QB Minamino by thus far. Kubo, Sommer and SNO having most of the possession. As Japan move the ball up the pitch.
Back three on the side!
Nice idea. Sakai just bending the pass, or at least that was the intention, into the run of Yuki Sommer. And there's a good crowd in. There's plenty of Japanese and Canadians inside the Al Maktoum Stadium here tonight. It's part of the Gulf, heavy with expats from all over the globe. Crunching challenge on Hoylett there. Lofted pass into Larry. Brings it down well.
Opposites.
Piet. Hoyle.
Let's get James released, right? Boys. Hey.
Heavy pass, but the idea was good. So there's a nice zip to this friendly here in Dubai. 3 days before the World Cup itself starts, just across the water in Doha, with Qatar against Ecuador. Just past the midway point in the first half here, and we're going to stop for a water break. Very hot. Just past 6 p.m. in the evening here in Dubai. What a privilege to be supporting the Canadians just at the current moment with the success they're having. Often referred to as a sleeping giant in the North American Confederation. I mean, it's been USA and Mexico all the way, and one other in terms of their World Cup challenges over the past 2 decades. Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Honduras. They've all been to the World Cup finals, but now it's Canada's turn. Canada established themselves as finals mainstays ever since France '98. Massively important that they qualified for that tournament. 4 years ahead of their co-hosting duties with the Koreans in 2002, which was the first time that they survived the group. Happened again in 2010. They lost a second-round match to Paraguay on penalties, and then the heartbreak of Russia 4 years ago. Well played. Cannon's in here, it's got 2 square, got to pull it across, and Gonda has to block. Well, both David and Larry were moving into position there. Buchanan has been a constant thorn in Japan's side down the right-hand side here in the first half. Just delays to begin with. I mean, he could have cut it back there, but they've had success from these corners thus far, leading to that Vitoria equaliser. And Japan found a way to deal with them. Again, Hoyle plays it into the middle. Gonda commits, doesn't get there, and they get away with it. Well, that time it's the other central defender, Kamal Miller, proving a nuisance. In fact, he gets ahead there of Vitoria. Does Kamal Miller. But again, Japan really struggling at the back indeed. Make those notes. Errors that are going to be punished more frequently next week. Hoyle takes a corner from the opposite wing this time. And straight forward that time for Gonda. Good hand on it. Picked up by Piet. And David is dispossessed. Japan force the ball clear. Look at the pace there of Asano. Okay, he makes the foul on the covering player, Adekugbe, but should never have been anywhere near that. Takuma Asano from Bochum. Well, surely it's a dry run here. So who gets to start up front? I feel sure we'll see Maeda and Ueda at some point tonight. Victoria and Hutchinson. There's the foul.
Play and join!
Adekugbe.
Touch, Junior!
Adekugbe dispossessed. Return. Sakai loses the ball. Breaks now for Al Tanaka. Johnston. Good ball again. Here's Buchanan. Taking on Ito. Clearing support is Jonathan David. Jonathan David tries to dig out space for the shot. Breaks for Hutchinson. Buchanan is caught. Kubo there. Guilty of the foul. Constant threat from set pieces. So far tonight, the Canadians. We're past the half-hour mark in Dubai. It's 1-1. This is a really entertaining pre-World Cup warm-up. No, all a bit anticlimactic that. Adekugbe nowhere near to testing Shuichi Gonde. No foul. Hoyle. Doesn't quite get the right contact on that. Turn it into an inviting cross. Vittoria nudges it back to Hutchinson. Jonathan David, lovely little step over there. David still going, really well played. Here's Hoyle, and David makes his way into the middle. Carl Laren's there as well. Comes back for Piet. Adekugbe trying to get forward. There's been an extra attacking option for them. Pushing on down the left-hand side. Likewise, Johnston on the opposite wing. So Germany first for Japan next week, Belgium first for Canada. And it's Costa Rica, and the Japanese end with what could be absolutely huge. The group decider against Spain. It's Croatia following the Belgium match for Canada. They end against Morocco. Just the top two go through from the 8 first-round groups in this World Cup before, of course, the format is expanded in 2026, when Canada will be one of the co-hosts, and with the USA and Mexico. David, just can't turn it into a shot that tests Gonde. But he earned the chance himself, Jonathan David, the Lille striker there, by winning the ball back. Did open up for him briefly. He snatched at that a bit.
Good, Sammy. Style.
Miller, playing with fire there a bit. Has his pocket picked there by Kubo. And Kubo hits the shot that's deflected. Breaks kindly for the Canadians. A bit loose that from Miller. Gets a touch lucky. And Davids can't do anything with it. Wide out on the right-hand side. 10 minutes to go to half-time at the Al Maktoum Stadium in Dubai. Japan and Canada giving us a really open, entertaining match before they return to Doha. Focus fully on their first World Cup finals matches. Torre stretches that in the general direction of Buchanan. Breaks here for Saka. Six players the 2022 World Cup party for Japan who were there in Russia 4 years ago. Two of them are on the pitch out there, Shibasaki and Sakai. Given away by Piet. Sommer. Sakura comes back for Tanaka. Again, caught a little bit cold at the back once more. You need to be a little bit more ruthless, just get the ball up the pitch. Kind of won possession back. Shibasaki. Miller. Again, Japan have it. Gaki Shibasaki again. See why Moriyasu went for Shibasaki over Rio Hatate. Reasonably loyal to the players that have been there in this last World Cup qualifying cycle. The ball pinged up and over the top. That's Sakai getting well forward. Can't do anything with it though. Pull the ball across. Victoria. Buchanan. was the foul off Kubo. Had a great game so far tonight as Tajon Buchanan. So a tug on the shirt, really, from Takefusa Kubo there. So the last 5 minutes of the first half in Dubai. Canada with a free kick. And it's a good delivery. Japan just don't know how to cope with those Junior Hoylett set pieces. There's a whip on that. It carries to the far side. It's the Kamal Miller in there. I mean, Tanaka, who gets that contact. Last ditch there to put it behind for the corner. It's another really good whipped in cross from Junior Hoylett. Post. It's a problem again. Gonda doesn't get it clean, and well, you can almost sense the relief. You can hear the sigh of relief when Japan survive these dead ball situations. And it's in there. Basically, Larid almost takes an uppercut to the jaw of Shuichi Gonda from the corner ball. So goal kick, but more by luck than judgment. But it could be. He tries to get in and win that. Ball breaks now for Takuma Asano. Kubo and Minamino moving into position behind. Shipped across by Kubo. He's got a red shirt ideally stationed. Hoylett does well. And Soma, who is down there clutching that right ankle. And again, this is just the sight that coaches at this stage of a World Cup preparation dread. Yuki Soma, Japan's goal scorer tonight. So there, he just ends up stamping on his foot. Nothing too hideous about it, or intentional, or naughty. Just unfortunate. Well, his side were on top, Moriyasu. But Canada responded really well after that moment there. Yuki Soma, one of the three players only in this Japan squad for the World Cup with fewer than 10 caps. Soma's goal in the 9th minute, cancelled out by Vitorias in the 21st. Expect changes in the second half. Nice idea there by David, but he was dispossessed. Japan can do nothing with it, so David has it back, and then comes off the heel there of the referee. Miller.
You're gonna draw him.
Sano makes the dart through the middle. Sano just rolls it short instead to Tanaka. There's a bit of room. Wide left here. Cross is way too heavy. Kubo and Minamino there moving into position. Kubo just gives that too much, trying to lift the ball across. As we close in on the 45-minute mark here. Been a terrific match though. Open, attacking. Players not holding back in terms of challenges, throwing themselves in, trying to win the ball. We're going to have 3 extra minutes at the end of the first half. Been a variety of matches since the close of qualifying for the World Cup back in March. And the most recent pointer, really, as far as the Japanese were concerned. They beat the USA in September by 2 goals to nil. It was a Pulisic less USA, but nevertheless a decent result. And been a variety of matches for the Canadians as well since that memorable day in Toronto when they booked their qualification with a 4-0 win against the Jamaicans. One of the greatest days in the history of Canadian national football, that. But more recently, they beat the World Cup host Qatar in Vienna to Canada by 2 goals to nil. They lost to the Uruguayans in Bratislava. And most recently, through with Bahrain. That was before John Herdman named his final squad of 26 though, so some players who not going to the World Cup finals featured in that match. Japan attacking at the end of the first half. Miller gets it away. Buchanan. That's Asano. Here's Shibasaki. Tanaka. That should be Milan Borjan's. He picked the ball out of the net, but he's had nothing to do since then. The Red Star Belgrade keeper, Milan Borjan.
Set the lines! Coming through, come on! Can we steal a few?
It's Akura.
Come on, can we steal?
Go round the outside. Minamino slips it across. Good foot in though. Well, after a slightly shaky start, Canada have steadied themselves really well. Should be leading at half-time. No doubt about it, John Herdman's team. As ever, Japan have plenty of the ball. It's what they can do with it, if there's any cutting edge. That's the big question for Moriyasu always. And although Yuki Soma gave Japan the lead in the 9th minute, they couldn't build on it. And Steven Vittoria equalised 11 minutes later. It's 1-1 at half-time here in Dubai. Really entertaining pre-World Cup finals fodder. A switch up front straight away. Maeda being left on the bench for the time being. It's 1-1. It was Soma who scored the opening goal. Vittoria equalised 12 minutes later. Ueda Yamane. Confirmation of the changes there with Ritsu Doan. So Ayase Ueda used now and again by Moriyasu in qualifying. Again, this for the lead striker's role, because of course no Yuya Osaka. Ismail Kone is the one switch for Canada at the break. Now then, he scored a fantastic goal in the Bahrain match. last Friday night, and has made a real run towards the squad. Ismail Kone, the CF Montreal player. And David goes down heavy in the opening moments of this second half. Can be the case that a little bit of the flow is disrupted when we have a raft of substitutions. We'll have to see how this one pans out. There was a real crackle and a real tempo to the first 45 minutes here. It was a really entertaining match, plenty of inventive attacking play, more often than not from the Canadians. They certainly had more of a cutting edge, in particular Tajon Buchanan down the right-hand side, and Julia Hoylett on the opposite wing, causing the fullbacks Ito and Sakai all sorts of problems. And Canada will be looking to continue in much the same vein here in the second 45. Ball over the top. Larin commits the goalkeeper. Gonda out. Do have Schmidt and Kawashima in the party here, the backups for Shuichi Gonda. Kawashima, the veteran. Schmidt, I suppose, would hope to be the second choice, with Kawashima, the 30-something. Brings a lot of experience to the squad. Of course, it's about the experience and the know-how in the group and in the camp, isn't it? More than anything, with a World Cup finals, a tournament that is potentially 4 or 5 weeks long. Neither of these two want to be going home after the first 3 group matches. That was a thundering challenge there by Junior Hoylett on Ritsu Doan. Making a few complaints there. So Doan is the Freiburg player, 29th cap. Ritsu Doan, part of the setup for 5 years now. Winger falls very much into that bracket of quick, technically accomplished players that they love to produce in Japan. Shibasaki ships the ball on. That's Piet.
Stevie, gotta get the line up on the stretch.
Well, he's been a core figure really in Japanese football as Moriyasu over the last 3 decades. As an accomplished player himself, a 35 cap international midfielder, and then when he turned to coaching, led Sanfrecce Hiroshima to 3 titles in 4 years. Became the first Japan coach since Philippe Troussier 2 decades ago to lead both the senior team and the Olympic team. Couldn't quite make the breakthrough they wanted last year at home in Tokyo. 13 players in this squad who were part of that Olympic party. Sommer does well, cuts the ball across, and Aga Pogbe there with the cover. The left back anticipating really well there. Japan try and recycle it, comes back through Ko Itakura. And the ball shoveled out of play over there on the far side. So, first, good little surge, replicating what we saw at the start of the match. Japan started really strongly, but were then pushed back, even after scoring the opening goal through Yuki Soma. Here he is. Well, it's a curious quirk, actually, that both John Herdman and the current coach of the Canada women's team, Bev Priestman, are from the same town in northeast England. They're both Geordies, they're both from Consett. And Priestman, who guided The Canadian women to Olympic goal in Tokyo last year. Took over from Herdman, who'd won bronze medals in London and Rio. So the men catching up with the success of the Canadian women gives you a picture of just the health of Canadian national soccer right now, both genders. Minamino there on Kamal Miller. Well, Takumi Minamino, formerly of Liverpool, now of Monaco. And 3 Japanese players in this World Cup squad to play in France. And Germany will lead the way, 8 players. With Japan play domestically in Germany. Just 1 for the Canadians. Alphonso Davies. They'll be really happy, the Canadians, that only 9 players in this World Cup party play at home in MLS in North America. Willett just wouldn't come down for him quick enough. Walked the ball into the net in that unforgettable match, the qualifying victory over Jamaica that sealed the deal in terms of their passage through to Qatar. I mean, sometimes just everything turns out all right. Everything goes your way at home in a must-win match, and certainly that was one of those days. BMO Field in Toronto. The atmosphere was extraordinary that day. Likewise for the Japanese, really. They've got a famous win 2-1 over the Australians in qualifying. The culmination of their recovery after the poor start to Asian World Cup qualifying for Moriyasu's team. They lost 2 of their first 3 matches by 1-0. Shockingly at home to Oman in the first qualifier, and then to Saudi Arabia in Riyadh. Here's Buchanan in behind, has players square, just tries to spin the ball inside there. Ito, though, did just enough. And that's played through for Yuki Soma, who won't pick that up. It's like they've just flitted it around behind it. Sueda now up front for Japan. Soma has come out to the left-hand side. Minamino playing more centrally. Ito. Goes back to Gonda. Japan going again too quickly for the referee's liking.
Get set! Coming through! Come on!
So again, I mean, Ueda is naturally keen to make an impression, the 24-year-old. Winning his 11th cap. Still seeking a first goal for Japan is Ayaz Ueda. Could this be the night? First season in Europe, as Vitoria gets a yellow card for Ayaz Ueda with the Cercle Bruges. After a good service with Kashima Antlers last 5 Serbian titles, Milan Borja. Red Star. Doan tried a cheeky one there around the corner. Sommer making the run, crowded out, too many bodies back there for Canada. Again, they try and play their way out. I mean, Connie gets that one wrong, the substitute. I mean, where do you stand on that one? Is it a case of just get it clear, anywhere will do, just find some wriggle room, get some breathing space? Or do you just commit to playing out from the back? It didn't work out for Canada that time. Minamino picks it up. Let's try again to play little balls around the corner. Finally the cross. Yuki Sommer needs support. Feeds it back, gets the return ball. There, Yuki Sommer from Gaku Shibasaki. Canada smuggle it clear. Taniguchi. Minamino, seeing a lot more of the ball in this second half. Minamino, now he's playing more centrally. Buchanan, there's 2 blue shirts around him. Challenge was legal, Japan have it back. Minamino! Oh, he was caught just as he tried to pull the trigger by Kamal Miller. Now then, let's see that one slowed down. Unflappable, Moriyasu, the coach. But Minamino just playing the little 1-2. It's sort of opened up for him. And that's a full-blooded challenge. Throwing himself into this. Kamal Miller there for Canada. Well, there's been more invention from Takumi Minamino in the opening 15 minutes of this second half than we saw in the entirety of the first. It's Kone who's come across here. Just for a little bit of dialogue with the players about to come on. So Richie Laria and 21, that's Jonathan Osorio, and 14 is Mark Kay. So as we might have expected, the changes are being rung here. And Atiba Hutchinson, well, no one ever expected the captain there to complete 90 minutes. I mean, he's done an hour, so that will have been agreed beforehand. So Mark Anthony Kay comes in from Toronto FC. Osorio, the top appearance maker at Toronto. 2 home-based players getting a bit of match time as well. We'll have to see how things pan out with the switches here in this second half. Richie Laria as well. Versatile fullback. Returned home on loan from Nottingham Forest, Premier League club, struggling though to break into the first team there. I mean, we know all about their incredible transfer business this past summer. Sano tried to feed it through, a challenge preventing the ball coming through there to Ayase Ueda. Japan have it back. Soma cuts in, useful ball, just flicks off the head there of Ayase Ueda. Sort of overran it really in a way. Both committed to coming forward still, these two teams. It's great to see. Johnston. First touch there for Kay in the middle of the park. Osorio pushes on down the left-hand side there. Vitoria. Hoyle has come over to the right. Osorio slotted in on the left-hand side by the looks of things in the middle of the park. And the snapshot which drops over the top there from Osorio. Saita in his first minutes on the pitch. Produced one of the most iconic moments for the Canadians in qualifying. Jonathan Osorio with his equalising goal at the Azteca Stadium against the Mexicans. That was Canada's first goal there since 1980. Hoyle just won't get on the end of that. Canada having a good spell, invigorated by the changes. Kone. Swept long there by Ito. It was a little bit wild. It dropped on the head of Laria. Good recovery there by Richie Laria. Hoyle. Kone rolled that all the way across there to Kamal Miller. Nicely done. Cross too heavy, too far ahead of Kyle Larin. But some really good inventive play again from the Canadians. And Laria there, getting into really good forward positions. Daichi Kamada now, Yuto Nagatomo are the players to come on. So that is the warm-up match over for Ao Tanaka by the looks of things. And Shogo Itakura, well, he won't be starting next week. It'll be Tomoyasu in there, surely, in the back line. Yuto Nagatomo, massively experienced, a big player for them. I mean, he's going to get 25 minutes or so here. Nagatomo, he'll be part of the starting lineup almost certainly next week. Ever present at the last 3 World Cups. Yuto Nagatomo, here he is, wearing 5. I mean, that's where the stability is. For the Japanese, Maya Yoshida as well. Big player for them in Russia. Nagatomo continues on down the left-hand side. They're going to have to go back here and pull play up. And 1 or 2 just niggly challenges. That's Junior Hoylett. Both had eyes on the dropping ball there. Hoylett and Sommer.
Too high, not like Canada. Canada, cool.
We give it back. It's a throw in, we give it back. It's a throw in. Hey, 10.
Looks like Hiroki Ito is pushed into the middle. Nagatomo takes up his spot on the left-hand side of Japan's defence. Taniguchi. Kamada was taken over from Hiroki Sakai at right back. Borjak rushes it clear.
Come on, can you get on that? Come on. Nope. Forward.
Johnston with the throw. Taniguchi ships it on there to Daichi Kamada. Ito again. Just over 20 minutes to go here in Dubai. As we fully expected, a lot of substitutions made by both coaches, John Herdman and Hajime Moriyasu, in the course of this second half. But still plenty to admire here. And crucially, no big injury concerns. Yuki Sommer then with the opening goal. Seems a long time ago now. And Canada responded quickly. It's a Hoylett corner here, which Japan couldn't deal with. Eventually shoveled into the path there of Stephen Vittoria, who turned home for 1-1. Canada on course then at present to draw both of their warm-up matches in this part of the world. Because Cavallini is the latest change. Joel Waterman too comes in. So yeah, confirmation then, Waterman's had a great season. The the defender from CF Montreal. Lucas Cavallini too. It's a 20-minute run out towards the end here. There's a presence up front about him. Cavallini is making a run. We'll get a first touch here. Cavallini, a lot of physicality. Shifted it across the front. A lot of the home base players getting minutes. Cavallini of Vancouver Whitecaps. Good scoring record for Canada, for Cavallini, 17 in 32. There's a shut down Daichi Kamada as well. Yamane with the throw here for Japan. It's to Ayase Ueda, picked up by Kamada, very, very deep there. Going to win the free kick. I mean, in fairness, it's the Canadians who blended better with all the changes in the second half here. And Ayase Ueda really hasn't done much up front since replacing Takuma Asano. That's Nagatomo, who swings the ball over the top. It's going to be directed back to Borjan by Vitoria. Got a runner. The long ball looks for Cavallini. Again, it's that presence, troubling defenders. And the shot is dragged wide by David. He really didn't need to go for that, or certainly didn't need to go for it as early as he did. But again, it's Cavallini with that presence. The ball swept up to him. I mean, I don't think he even got the touch there. It just comes off the back of the defender. But the physical presence is a sufficient distraction there to panic defensive players into mistakes and to bundling the ball into areas it wouldn't normally end up in. Vitoria emerges with it, finishing strongly here, Canada. Junior Hoyle does well. Hoyle does really well. Drills over the cross. Might break here for Laria. Twisting and turning Laria. Got the better of Ritsu Doan there. And, well, no foul. Daichi Kamada comes away clean with that. Maybe Japan can counter. Ball play to the left-hand side here. Yuki Soma, 3 in the box here. Yuki Soma just sends it to the back stick. Somehow the ball has been kept in play. Scooped up and over the top. Clever that from Yuki Soma. Canada soak it up. Waterman just gives it there to Kone, and the tempo has come right down, understandably so. Waterman for Hoyle. Cavallini. Layoff again, linking up well. Kone. And Waterman goes on the overlap. Kone steps back in field. Pass over the top. Looking for Cavallini. Waterman. He's back for Hoylett. Eventually away by Hiroki Ito there. Well, as things stand at the moment, you never know what might happen in the last 13 minutes plus stoppages. John Herdman will be by far the more satisfied of the two coaches at the end of this World Cup run out. His team have adapted better to the changing pace, with all the switches made in the second half. Still looking a threat. They're still pushing on to try and win. The Hoylett drops the ball into Cavallini. He's been excellent since coming on. Useful ball pulled back as well. Just shut down. Yuki Soma sends the ball over the top. That might drop ideally for Ayase Ueda. He's able to hold it up, Ueda. Still there with it, but needs help. Just running out of room, but really strong defending. Just pinning Ayase Ueda into that corner. He's done well since coming on, Joel Waterman. And especially useful on the right-hand side if they go to a back three in the World Cup finals over the next few weeks. Set up a little bit more solid, as they might have to do, coming up against the technically gifted Belgians and the Croatians. Spreading the play, just giving Naria the chance to run at the fullback. Naria still going, and they'll be pulled up for a foul there by Miki Yamane. To Hiroki Sakai at right back for Japan in this second half. This is it. Pace coming off the bench for the Canadians here. Naria, Hoylett, Alphonso Davis, Buchanan. They're players that can really hurt you. "79 minutes gone in Dubai. John Herdman's Canada team are finishing strong. We're very surprised with all the attacking intent. Canada don't end up going on to claim their first ever World Cup finals goal. Looking for a second goal tonight in Dubai. Won't get them the quality of that free kick, I'm afraid. Waterman left exposed. Japan. Always a threat on the counter, and Waterman gets back to help out. Maria, back to Borja. They recycle it here through Kone. Cavallini broken through there, no offside. Cavallini will thread it all the way over to Hoylett, and the ball was out of play. Well, it wasn't for the offside, it was for the fact that Cavallini had failed to stop the ball drifting over the goal line here. He timed that to perfection. So here he is. First touch perhaps was a little loose. Well, at the moment it's David and Larin from Cavallini.
Where's the 10?
That's the way the attack is working by the looks of things for Canada going into Qatar. But options, that's what it's all about. And tonight's performance has proved that there are plenty of them. Good looking options for Canada. Japan, perhaps the jury is out a little more on the evidence of this second half. Kay. Kone. Hoylett. Body crossing by Hoylett. Wasn't it a clean connection on that really from Jonathan David. They have it back again here with Kamal Miller. And then Kone just trying to be a little bit too cute that time. But Japan on the back foot here in the final 10 minutes. So that was David just heading it down, just trying to help it really across. It bounces up and into Taniguchi. Yeah, it certainly wasn't a handball. Borjan keeps them going, keeping the tempo up here. Waterman. For Mark Anthony Kay. Victoria has to go back to Borjan. Foul there on Lariat. He's looked very lively since coming on. Draws that foul off Ritsu Doan. Two of the substitutes are coming together there. It's a bit clumsy by Doan. Real strikers challenged that on Richie Lariat. Here's Osorio. Waterman. Waterman again. Japan trying to stay well organised. Kone sends the ball in early. Yeah. Cleanly taken by Shuichi Gonda. This is the third meeting between these two. I mean, Japan won the two previous matches. Most recent of those was in 2013. Way off there for Kone. His first touch was heavy. And then Vittoria. Well, he knew what he was doing there. Stephen Vittoria. Calming, says the referee. Vittoria, I'm sure, will heed the warning here. 6 minutes from the end.
Eyes on the 10!
It shows you the level of commitment there. The legend Maya Yoshida gets minutes at the end. He's one of the first names on the team sheet. Yeah, takes over the captain's armband, the former Southampton and Sampdoria defender. Played every game in Brazil, played every game in Russia. He will be the linchpin of the defence. So 5 minutes plus maybe a little bit more here to see out the World Cup run-in, just to bed him in for that opening match next week. Continue to shut the Canadians down. A little bit naughty that from Jonathan David. No hint of a foul. Pass not good enough. not sharp enough. Kamada gives it to Ito. Well, it's important for him to get 90 minutes tonight and survive the curl during the course of the second half. Versatile option in defence and at the base of the midfield as well, if needed. Looks like he's going to complete the 90 here. There is again Rocky Ito. As well. Asiueda just gets him behind, plays it against Kamal Miller. But they've done really well tonight, Miller and Vittoria, between them at the heart of that Canadian back line, just coping with the movement and the runs and the technique and the little touches, the invention that Japan have tried to provide. All Canada in the second half. The corner, at least the first phase of it. Victoria plays them out of trouble. So throw into defenders. We close in on the 90-minute mark here. Behind, right at the deck. Oh, that's off the post. So close to snatching it. And wouldn't you just know it as well, having been on the back foot for the second half. They go and break the lines and crash the ball against the post. And Milan Borjan was beaten all ends up there. Nice little play. They tried to go flat and play the offside. Got caught. Excellent first touch, and Yamane had players square, so went low. Shibasaki played him in. He's unlucky, in truth. It's a rare bit of penetration, and it happened right at the end for Japan. They could have snatched it. It would have been extremely harsh on the Canadians. Kay's back to cover. Gives it to Borjan. Tip your cap to the way of both teams, both coaches have urged their teams on. Four extra minutes here in Dubai. Played it through. Jonathan David chasing it down. The little player, he got that touch, just straining every sinew until the bitter end here for the Canadians. Well, we remember the problems that Hoylett's corners caused in that first half. 5 of them in that first half alone, and none of them sufficiently well dealt with, really, by Gondor or his defenders. Now Hoylett that tries to create panic again in the Japanese back line. A solid hand on it from Shuichi Gonda. It's going to come out for the corner from the opposite side. So this one will be an outswinger, but those are the ones that created most havoc. We've already seen Miki Yamane, the stand-in right back, nearly snatched the win. That shot off the post for Japan. Canada going to do the same and get their first ever win over the Japanese. Understandably, everyone's pretty much down to walking pace now. Another hot night, another energy-sapping night, but a valuable night here of international football ahead of next week's World Cup. Boylan with the outswinger. Yeah, safely soaked up that time. Boylan again. He's missed out on that to Daichi Kamada. Canada left open. It's Ritsu Doan. Plays the 1-2 with Ayase Ueda. Canada get bodies back. And then it's the through ball for Cavallini. They'll wait for support here, Cavallini. Maria, who came up short. Now Jonathan David flicks the ball out wide to Laria. Taking on Taniguchi. Move back to Osorio. David again. Oh, they played their way through. That was a bit of a lunge. Penalty kick right at the end. We're in the 3rd minute of added on time, and are Canada about to be rewarded for greater pressure and greater invention? Yamane there lunges in on Laria just a few moments after he almost won it himself. The substitute for Japan. Wow, huge moment, and it might send Canada with their tails up to the World Cup. Cavallini has the responsibility. This to win it here in added on time. Cavallini for Canada. Oh, he just about squeezes over the line. He went for the Panenka. He looked a little bit panicked as Gonda stretched out the hand to get contact on it, but Cavallini does win it. Drama at the end here. How about that for a winner? Cheeky as you like from Lucas Cavallini. Well, again, you salute the Canadians on the verge of a come-from-behind win here. I mean, he's followed it in. Maximum confidence to attempt a penalty like that in stoppages. I mean, Gonda, he's covered that. He's got to be gutted. Shuichi Gonda there that he hasn't kept that out. But the Canadians won't care. Cavallini brings the win for the Canucks, surely now. He's looked good since coming on. He's been full of energy, full of running, full of confidence as well with that penalty kick. On we go then. For additional minutes on the board. We're now nearly at an extra 6. So surely a last phase and a last chance for Japan to get an even later goal. No, that is that. Canada with their first ever victory over Japan and will go into their first World Cup finals in 36 years. Surely full of beans. It's a come-from-behind win. Sommer with the opening goal in the 9th minute, equalised 12 minutes later by Steven Vittoria. There are a ton of changes in the second half, as we might have expected in a...